Content warning. Please be advised, this actual play series is a mature, horror-forward story set against a backdrop of wartime hardship and folklore. Our table aims for tension, mystery, and heart told with respect. Along the way, episodes may include violence and peril, scenes of pursuit, injury, combat, and life-threatening situations. Wartime and occupation themes, checkpoints, curfews, coercion, and depictions of fascist villains. These are presented critically as antagonistic forces. Supernatural horror, ghosts, omens, folkloric creatures, curses, and unsettling imagery or sounds, disasters and environmental threats, fires, flooding, cold exposure, confined spaces, and other hazards, death, grief, and trauma responses, characters processing loss, fear, and difficult choices, religious or spiritual themes, sacred spaces, rituals, and symbolism that some may find sensitive. Occasional strong language and intense descriptive narration to evoke the scene. At our table, player safety comes first. We use lines and veils, a pause and move on mechanic, regular check-ins, and post-session debriefs. Scenes can fade to black, be reframed, or be skipped entirely when needed. For you at home, please take care of yourselves. If a scene isn't for you, it's okay to pause, mute, or skip ahead. We'll include episode notes and, when possible, timestamps to help you navigate. Adjust volume or brightness if that helps, and feel free to step away and rejoin when you are ready. A quick values statement. Our cast and crew reject and oppose real-world hate and oppression. Any harmful ideologies depicted here serve only to define the stakes of the fiction. They are not endorsed. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Greetings, beautiful nerds. Welcome to Session 1 of our descent into the shadows of Vaesen, a story for the time set in 1943 where myth and nightmare stalk the war-torn streets of Ireland? Interesting. Tonight, we will step into Belfast, Ireland, and this is a Belfast that you might not be familiar with. But enough on that. Let us immediately introduce our players for this adventure, starting at the top with Meadow.
Howdy, I'm Meadow, she, they pronouns. You may know me around the internet at Howdy Love Darlin or Howdy Love Darlin GM, and tonight I'll be playing Dove, she, her pronouns.
Victor.
Hi, everybody. My name is Victor. You may find me in some places as Victor the Story Weaver, and I will be playing Drew the Mule Smith.
CB.
Hey everybody, my name is Omega Jones, also known as Cripbard across all social media channels. My pronouns are he and they. I'm a professional actor and tabletop designer, gamer, all that jazz from the Midwest, turned tabletop thing. I don't know. I'm playing Clifford, whose pronouns are he and him.
Sparrow.
Hi-yo, I am your favorite burb on the interweb, A Black Sparrow from the Feywild and Out team. Pronouns are he, him. I am a professional equity actor, TTRPG person, and enjoyer of various pop culture things. I'll playing Nehemiah Sogard, whose pronouns are also he and him. Black Sparrow everywhere, by the way.
Rachel.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Cordell. You can find me across the internet at Rachel Cordell, Majora's Rose on Twitch, and also over on the AP TTRPG podcast, RP Jesters.
And I, as always, am your storyteller in the shadows. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Rachel.
Also, I'm playing Aoife, she, her pronouns.
Yes. Character name, very important. I'll say my bit again. I am, as always, your shadows, Andy, aka Mr. Dandy DM, and I am so thrilled to be able to tell this story on Starcrawl RPG's channel. Big thank you to Mozzarella, Moz. We love you. Thank you again for this opportunity to tell this story with this group of people. If this is your first time joining us for this particular game, we are playing the game Vaesen by Freeleague Publishing. This is a game where the system is all going to be based off of D6 dice rolls, and it's going to be specifically a pool of dice. 6s are success. So, and we will see how many successes we have tonight. So, players, take up your dice, steady your nerves, and sharpen that sight, because the night is long and our shadows are hungry. So, without further ado, here we go. Players, hunters, picture Belfast as it should be. Linen whitening on backyard lines, flour-dusted bakers sliding warm soda bread to laughing kids. The cathedral bells tumbling over roofs, the color of old pennies. The Logan River is a ribbon of quicksilver. Harland and Wolff's cranes, the shipbuilding cranes of that dock, is, yellow against the clear blue morning sky. There are men in flat caps trading jokes. The market is a braid of voices. You smell yeast, salt, damp stone. A steamer's whistle answers the gulls in the harbor. That is not this Belfast. Your Belfast is something else entirely. We are now below a gunmetal sky. Dark, cloudy, rain pouring in a torrent onto the streets. There is barbed wire that is draped like thorns on the tops of buildings. There's a tang of smoke that sits on your tongue. The air is full of the smell of ash and oil and cordite. There are floodlights that comb the docks. And far off, the sound of boots that slap against the wet cobblestones. There's another sound that is accompanying the sound of boots in the rain, and that is a low animal growl. That is not quite an animal, but more on that later. The rain falls heavily, feeling just the grit on your cheeks. It stings. Every breath scalds your lungs as you are sprinting through the streets. To your left, you see the bombed out shell of a bakery that once stood there. Many of the tops of these buildings are broken from the many bombs that have happened and fallen over the last several months. The reason for all of this is because Operation Green has succeeded. Ireland is under the boot of the Wehrmacht. The western flank of the Isles has been pried open, and Belfast's cranes and docks, once the pride of the shipbuilding world, the place where the Titanic, the Olympic, and the Britannic were all built, they are now shuttered. You are 5, tired, bleeding. And each of you feels the sight cutting through your mind like a shard of glass. Behind you, there is the sound of an SS patrol, submachine guns held low, and a dog foaming at their leads. You find yourselves in the street of this Belfast. To the left, past this bombed-out bakery, you see the shadow of Sinclair Seaman's Church, a single candle guttering in the window. And to the right, the alley bleeds toward Thompson Dock, where the old stones remember the weight of those mighty ships. This is where we find you. Now, I'm going to need you to run and decide if you are going to live long enough to make it matter. Dove, we'll start with you.
Yeah, let's see if I survive. I can't wait to introduce myself to maybe death.
Yes, you are running with your this group of we'll call them at this point, friendly coworkers of sorts. You guys you are hunters. You have hunted Vaesen in the past. You've maybe gone on 7 successful investigations. You've been able to solve some mysteries in the dark, but this is a new world that you are in, and you are on the run. And you know why. You know that the SS and the soldiers in these streets are unfriendly to those who have the sight. And they're either hunting or they're rounding up and taking those who have the sight for some unknown purpose. But you are running with your, 4 other companions. What thoughts are running through Dove's mind at this specific moment?
Dove is flipping through pages in her mind. It's almost like a flip book, how fast they're going. She is thinking of different folk tales where the heroes, the good guys, were on the run. She's thinking of clever escapes from different fables that she learned from her mom over in America. She's thinking of a way out through fiction. And it's reaching a panicked flutter. All she can hear are boots and pages turning. And she's having a hard time concentrating on the actual reality around her. As often happens with Dove, she is already losing herself in escapism due to the stress.
Please tell us, what does Dove look like?
Dove is a mess of angles and cloth. She has very high cheekbones, very strong, long nose, very intense brow bones that are high. Her forehead's high, a long face. She looks like almost old Hollywood if the screen were a little elongated. Just a little too long to be a classic beauty. More of like an eye-catching, striking face rather than a pleasing face. She's got very deep brown eyes that are kind of sunken, bags under her eyes constantly. You can tell she doesn't sleep well. And through all of her angles, the striking features of her face, she is drowning in clothes, in layers. A heavy coat, a tweed vest underneath with a button-up blouse all the way to her neck, under a hat wrapped in a scarf. And the only things about her that's not heavily layered or overcomplicated or just swathed in cloth are her boots, which look like they have been worn down to the absolute soles. I would not be surprised if as she's running and her feet kick up, you can see her actual socks through the soles of these boots.
Okay. The sounds of these booted soldiers approach even closer. Drew, what thoughts are running through your mind as you run? The thick fog of your breath sort of entering the air in front of you.
I think his attention as he runs is also to keep an eye, and if I think there is it feels too familiar every single time that he has to run. He remembers the last time he ran in a very different place before he had to face things he didn't know existed. And the next thing he knew, he was falling into water and emerging in a strange place. And it seems like the running doesn't end.
Drew, what does your character, or what do you look like?
Drew is a brown-skinned, mestizo individual with curly hair, semi-short, a little messier, ruffled. He wears very humble fabric shirts and suspenders. He usually has a little sort of Peaky Blinder hat. He sometimes feels he wishes he could hide himself entirely under that hat when some of these individuals are walking by. And he also happens to be a very sturdy build individual. There is this clear, innate strength to the way that his body is built. And some of the scars that you may be able to see in his knuckles and his face hints to someone who has taken a punch and given a few, and continues to endure it.
Thank you. Cliff. The thing that is you are very aware of in this moment, as the sounds of the jackboots are coming behind you, is the other growl that you hear along with these other troops. Coming from behind, coming closer and closer. Right now, you guys are keeping a steady pace, running ahead of this band of SS. But they're gaining ground fast. You see Nehemiah ahead of you. Always ahead of you and slightly to the right. What thoughts are going through Cliff's mind at this moment?
There's a forward understanding and a backwards understanding. Almost quite literally, as in front of him is this figure who has so much living to still do, and then behind, just the figures of a past. Figures that almost represent something so familiar to him and yet so far away. He stays in the back of the group on purpose, mainly to be able to watch at all times what's going on, but also never letting something get too close without him knowing. So while he is running, and just like our good friend Drew, running is very, very much known to him for many different reasons, and yet somewhat the same. So for him right now, he's mostly thinking about making sure these four get to where they need to go. But there's also a desire to turn around and let them try.
Thank you. Cliff, what do you look like?
Some would call him a simple man, and that would be giving him too much credit. He wears practically nothing in a God-fearing way. Calm down. He wears linens, both in the white, creamy, most likely very dirty shirt, the slightly brown pants that he wears on his bottoms. There is a woolen or some type of very cheap but old vest around him as well, in that creamish, maybe a hint of orange in there. Again, is it coloring or is it just stains? The world will never know. He has no hair, or at least it's very much shaved down. It's very, very, very small, finite. Deep brown eyes that tell so many stories, a grimace and yet a resolve. There's a 5 o'clock shadow that never seems to leave his face. Definitely looks battered. He wears socks. They have holes. Shoes, no. And there is, as he's running, a slight rattling as around his waist seems to be a chain link. Then I call it a belt, but that is what he's fashioned it to be. And it's rattling slightly. He has to, because of the state that they're in, hold it so it doesn't make that much noise. And other accoutrements that are around. There's a crowbar, and there's, yep,
That old crowbar.
and definitely maybe it looks like some type of bottle on the side as well, but for the most part he has nothing. He needs nothing.
Nehemiah, you see to your left the silhouette of Sinclair Seaman's church. That single candle, it is one of the, and you are aware of this given your time in Belfast, it is one of the last true sanctuaries in Sailor Town specifically. And you see it off in the distance. Its stone walls are just scarred by shrapnel, but that candle holds true in this moment. What thoughts are rolling through Nehemiah's mind at this point?
Nehemiah is thinking about how many of them can hide out in that church safely, and how many of them will have to split. And so his brain is at a pace of, what's the word I'm looking for? Priority. It is who is going to be safest with Aoife, who's going to be, who should go with Dove. Cliff will take care of Cliff, and also everyone at the same time. So I think he is playing strategies like his uncle Jason would when he taught him to play chess over 15 years ago. So he is kind of compartmentalizing the running aspect and also trying to form a strategy of how to get everyone away and safe. He knows that the pistol holstered in the holster attached on the left side of his belt has all 6 shots. So if he needed them, they are available. And his uniform is, his original militia uniform is long gone, but he has gotten something similar to replace it, and it is kind of a, it's not quite navy blue, and if you looked closely at it, you would see that certain spots of it are more pale than others, almost if it was like, not quite bleached, but definitely it looks textured, if you will. And his boots make almost the same sound that their boots do, which is kind of interesting to him. That he managed to find something that would mimic that kind of sound that comes to terrify. He has a part on the right side shaved in, semi-recently done by the only black barber that he knows in Ireland. And I think he thinks that his next words will be something along the lines of asking Drew to take Aoife to the church and seeing if he can find a place for him and Dove to hide out.
You touched on it a little bit. please tell me, what does Nehemiah look like in terms of his physical description?
Nehemiah is, I'd say 5'11". He looks a bit slightly stockier than one would think, giving a look at him, but that has to do with the leather pieces that are underneath the uniform that are just there as like a buffer from, knife work coming at him. I mean, it won't quite stop a bullet, but it could potentially mitigate some damage depending on where it was at. I'd say if you had to put a weight on him, you're looking at probably like 187 pounds. Slightly hourglass style, like his waist is definitely out when he's outside of the uniform. His waist is definitely a little bit cinched in more than the shoulders and the hips. Got a very kind of like almost like a strong looking jaw to him, and very almost black brown eyes, to the point where I think on all of his identifiers it says that he has black eyes, but it's not true.
Aoife, you can feel Nehemiah's eyes on you. You know that he's, to your relief, you know that he probably has a plan. And that does give you a sense of hope in this moment, a silver lining. What thoughts are running through your mind as you charge through these streets?
Aoife thinks about her family, but then also this found family. She is native, she is from here, but she has found a home in these people and a love in their mutual experiences. And despite everything that is happening around them, and despite the fear that hangs heavy in the air, she feels assured that this is going to turn out okay. Even if it's just for a moment, just this moment is going to be okay. And they're going to make it to where they're going.
What does Eva look like?
She is definitely the youngest of this group. She is a small Irish girl with red hair that is still coiffed into pin curls that rest just above her shoulders, which is the way that her mama taught her to do it. She wears a blouse and a dress which is covered by a green woolen coat that displays the tartan of the O'Hare family. It is a family coat that she wears. She has a still like youthful appearance. She is 19, so she is still shedding those late years of youth, so her face is still a little bit round. Her skin is pale with the freckles of summer still wearing away. Her green eyes inlay on her cherubic features on a swivel, looking across her group, looking to Nehemiah, looking back to Drew, thinking about how she wants to stay close to him as she understands that her hands, although not so much all the time anymore, act as his tongue on occasion.
We have met our players. You all are running through these streets. You're starting to feel it. Behind you, I would say about 60 or so feet back where you came, you hear the sound of the boots stop as they round the corner, and you hear the officer yell, "Halt!" And immediately the sounds of gunfire ring around you, and then just the sound of bullets just ricocheting off the streets, off the walls around you. Sinclair, Seaman's Church is to your left, up the alley. Then down towards the Thompson Docks. There is also a route down that way. Although you're not entirely sure if how to get around past the Thompson Docks. So, what do you do?
Question, would I know of any places around here? As a switchboard girl, would I have known of any people who, like, by the docks they need to make a particular delivery that people don't get to get that main access to, that it would be easier for us to slip into?
That is a great question. Why don't we do our first roll?
First roll.
First roll.
Don't suck. I mean, no, you got this.
You got this.
You got this.
You're doing
Yeah.
great, sweetie.
It's okay. The stakes are not high.
The stakes are not high at all. It's cool.
I will say, give me a...
Be kind to me.
What's the fun in that? Give me we'll say a straight logic check.
Okay, that could be worse. That could be worse.
Yes. So again, this is based off of a dice pool. So what do you have in logic stuff?
Got 2.
Got 2. Okay. In this moment, as you are frantically trying to recall potential allies in the area, really quick, we're coming up to like a split. There's a T in the road. One heading up to Sinclair's, one heading down to the Thompson Docks. Really quick, give me 2d6 rolls and tell me if you have a 6 on any of them.
Sorry, I did get a 6. Yes, I got a 4 and a 6.
Incredible.
Awesome. So you know that down towards the Thompson Docks, there is at least you almost discount them because of their age, but you do know there is a young lad, and he's an ally, definitely. His name's Finn O'Donnell, and he is a one-armed Harlan and Wolf dock worker, or he was. And he has some potential hiding places in sort of the bombed out offices of the old Harlan and Wolf docks. These docks are abandoned at this point. They were in the process of pre-SS Wehrmacht Operation Green success. There was perhaps a battleship or a destroyer that may have been under, some kind of work, but that is long abandoned. But Finn O'Donnell, he's down. He's down by the Thompson Docks, probably, hopefully, towards the other direction. You know that Father Patrick McCarran, the priest, is in the Sinclair Seaman's Church. And he is also, he's very secretive, he's very trustworthy, mainly because of his ability to mix not only his personal faith journey with his understanding of Vaesen and of the site, and sort of his acceptance of people who possess it.
Dang
What was
it,
his
that's
last
it's
name?
very... The father?
You said Patrick
Patrick McCarran.
McCarran. Thank you.
Okay, I just don't think... Oh, God. Okay, so to flavor this, I think I would have my little dowsing rods out as we're running.
Okay.
I think they'd be kind of crossing over, and I think they're going to lean, obviously, towards the water, so towards the dock instead of the church.
Okay.
And I want to give a quick whistle out that way. Dove doesn't really talk unless she has to. So you see her dowsing rods out as she's running, and her body kind of lean one way, and she's going to give a little rallying whistle and like start moving that way, but she's never at the front of the pack. So she'll kind of like see if that's an okay general consensus, and if not, she will go with wherever the group is going.
Okay. Nehemiah, you've been, in this moment, you've been, like, sort of doing the mental calculus, trying to figure out the strategy, where to go next. You do, as the bullets are sort of ricocheting around you, you see one of the rounds just, like, fragment off of one of the walls and another off of the cobblestone beneath your feet. They're getting increasingly more accurate as the seconds pass. You are also trying to figure out where to go next. And do you split? Do you assign Drew to another member of the party and take them in another direction? As you are trying to do that mental calculus, behind the SS that are shooting at you right now, you see this shadowy, smoky creature, its jaws just drooling, this red ichor, its eyes glowing orange. You know what this is, because you've seen it before, but this one is not friendly to you. You know this to be another black dog. What do you do?
I think he would try to catch Drew's eyesight and point. He would kind of do like a quick point in the direction of the church. And
okay.
He is going to then kind of slot behind Dove in his running. And I think, Drew, you would probably know at this point that he's going to stick with Dove, and he's asking you to stick with Aoife. And he's not saying it because they're kind of within earshot, I think, and saying words at this point gives up the ghost, but I think that they do have to split, especially because they're getting more accurate, and less people in front of them means less targets, and they're going to have to choose. So if there are like pillars or anything,
this particular roadway has crates on either side of it.
Yeah,
that you could use to hide behind.
I think he's possibly going to run low, run lower, not high up, like he would like to, but obviously a smaller target means harder for them to hit, especially considering they're firing at all of us. So yeah, he kind of just keeps pointing forward towards the church, even as he is like leaning into the same direction that Dove is.
Okay. Drew, you see this. You see the sort of nonverbal communication happen from Nehemiah. What do you do?
So, most likely, Drew has been running sort of like behind Aoife, a little to the side, just because the kind of thing of, if a bullet is coming in this direction, I'd rather be there rather than Aoife. And if any of these people get close enough, I'm stopping them before they get to her. I think when you mentioned, are we near the docks when we're doing this run?
So you're running like parallel with them. You're for a couple blocks west of them right now.
The docks.
And you can definitely see them as you go past each alley. But you're close.
I think I give a nod to Nehemiah when they point, and I call to Aoife, trying to reach with my hand just to let her know to, like, I'm trying to reach for her to lead them somewhere. But I think one of the things also that I want to try to do as we're running is Drew wants to see if he can, as they're running, see a spot any crates, being as someone who is working on the docks and doing a lot of like heavy lifting with, you know, equipment and gear. If there's either any crates or any cranes or anything that he could potentially, as he's running, try to hit to get out, to make something fall, to potentially create a bit of obstacle or distraction that may delay the shooting, and then also may give an opportunity for the party to split with a bit more of advantage.
Got it. Give me a observation check, please.
I'm also going to quickly jump in here.
Yes.
Because Cliff, being at the back of the party, clearly sees the silent communication. Something that he's actually very, very used to, because in certain times you had to know how to communicate without being heard. And seeing Nehemiah move towards Dove, seeing Drew move towards Aoife, he says nothing to the party. He says nothing to the individuals. As he slightly turns his head back to where these gunshots, the audacity of these weapons shooting towards them. I mentioned I have liquor. You said it's raining. How hard is it raining? Is there anything burning? Before I answer I say my next thing, if not, there are other options. I'm just asking.
You're asking if something around you is burning? Pre-invasion, you would have seen, there were definitely streetlights, but there are, because of the electrical grid being down. No, right now.
Okay, that is totally fair. Not necessary, it was just a thought. Either way, there's going to be, Nehemiah, you're going to feel the hair on the back of your head stand up, as you know Cliff is staring directly at you, almost through you. And then in the swiftest motion, I'm going to peel off from the group with the intention of getting on the other side of this SS group with the dogs behind them.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I need Drew. It's not an observation. It is a
vigilance.
Yes. Thank you. You are muted.
Okay, so considering that I rolled dice, the third die that I rolled was a 6. The third.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you are sort of like very quickly seeing the nonverbal communication, you cast your eyes around the alley and you see there are actually a lot of different crates that have the sort of cartoonish emblem on them that have, it's like a little fire and a little sort of explosive indicator around it. You're around crates of grenades right now. You're muted. You were speechless.
That's that changes a little bit, because there are bullets flying in our direction.
Yeah. Gotta move.
With crates full of grenades in them. And I think the first intent of, I think Drew is running, taking Aoife, and sees like the next round of crates and is thinking, I'm going to try to see if I can do, and then he spots the visual just as a bullet probably flies by. And there's just that realization. And I think that he does say out loud, and I'm going to make the choice that I don't think that Drew knows the word, or rather it's very similar, but he's going to say it in Spanish out of reflex, as he just says, no, because he wouldn't know it. There wouldn't have been that one. No, never mind. He says grenade. You just hear him just grenade. And Nehemiah, you probably see him like looking, like sort of just having that moment of seeing you looking at the crates and ready to follow the direction that you pointed toward the church. But just you see him put like, Aoife, you feel the, like, we gotta, like, he's trying to get the hell out as far away as possible from these crates right now, because if these people keep shooting, who knows what can happen.
I think in the chaos there, you just see Eva. What? A grenade?
See?
Okay. And just takes off with you.
Nehemiah, your plan is sort of coming to fruition and quickly. At this point, though, Cliff, you are making a tactical decision at this point.
And
you hear the word grenade, and you see the emblem on the side of these crates. There's about 4, both on opposite sides of the alley or the street.
Yeah, I know that Nehemiah will be fine. I can see that the plans are being set. There's the understanding. Grenade is still scary, but for the most part, he believes they'll be okay. But as he quickly shifts his intention and moves around, I realize I'm not going to try to get behind them, but I am intentionally going to try to draw their attention. Be it start literally, I don't know what, if I've turned down an alley, if I've turned into a building that's maybe been broken or whatever. I'm going to...
You see an old newspaper office. There's an old newspaper office to your left, and then there's an old, just like a fishmonger, like next to, sort of just slightly up the street and on your right.
I'm going to turn towards that newspaper space with the intention of 2 separate things, especially if there's still any glass or anything like that. Break glass so noise happens, so intent turns, at least the soldiers turn. But specifically, I'm going to almost goad the dogs.
Okay. Hold on.
2 different forms of distraction, because noises probably won't stop the Vaesen, but I can.
Okay. I would like for you to give me... Hold on. I would like for you to give me a manipulation roll.
I can do that, Captain.
And I would like... So you were breaking the glass.
Mm-hmm.
And you are... Roll the roll, and then tell me exactly how, if you are successful, how you are going to goad this creature.
I got 2 successes.
Okay. You charge. You do the barrel roll. And you just plow into the glass, just jump into it, and as you're dodging these bullets that are just sort of flying through the air, you get down on your knees, and you look up over the edge of the windowsill as you're looking down and away. At this point, you see the the firing has slackened at this point. As they've gotten closer, the officer has given the sign at the crates, and they're now being very selective about where they're aiming their guns. How are you goading this creature?
It's easy. As I duck behind and begin to pull up, it's less of a duck and like a luck. It's more of a get around the corner and then scan. There's a piercing energy to my eyes as I watch these creatures, and I think probably I whistle in a very, very, very high-pitched tone that only dogs understand, one, but specifically making sure they understand that this pitch isn't as normal as it might be, almost understanding the language as I'm trying to get them to, you don't like me, so let me give you a reason not to like me.
Okay. It got a 1, and it got a 4 on... At this point, not only are you're successful in sort of drawing the gaze of the SS, but you also intimidate the hell out of this black dog as it suddenly begins to whine and sort of try to step back, and you see it begin to tuck its tail slightly. It doesn't want to get closer to you, but this German officer is like, "What is wrong with you, you stupid beast?" And you see him sort of, he goes to raise his hand, and then the dog suddenly just begin to bare its teeth at the officer. The officer thinks better of it, and sort of lowers his hand. Right now, because of the proximity of the grenades, the Germans are sort of very slowly now beginning to approach up the street. It seems that, Cliff, your actions have slowed the pursuit. At this point, Dove, which direction are you going?
To the docks. I'm following the little sticks in my hands.
Okay. You are following the little sticks in your hand with your hands. Drew and Aoife, you're both headed to the opposite direction?
They should be headed towards the church, is where Nehemiah directed
So
them.
Nehemiah and Dove, you are headed towards the docks. Drew and Aoife, you're headed towards the church. Cliff, this your cowing of this black dog, you being successful, what do you wish to do in terms of your movement?
Before I answer that, I think I need to ask, is it clear, do I think that Soldier Who Sucks is just befriending a dog? Let me rephrase that. Do I think that he thinks this is just a dog, or is it clear that he knows this is a Vaesen?
Okay. Give me, from your vantage point, give me a vigilance check.
Vigilance. I got, okay. Do blah, 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 and blah. No. That is 1 success.
1 success. You just, as you're peering over the window, just trying to make sure you are being very careful about your movement, you spy hanging around this SS officer's neck is some kind of a talisman that looks slightly like a lantern. It looks like this thing might be enabling this officer to perhaps... You have no other explanation. It's not a normal thing that you've noticed on the SS's uniforms. This is a new thing that you've noticed. It seems that this artifact, sigil, emblem of some kind is enabling this officer in the moment to have the sight. And it seems that they're working with this black dog to hunt other people with the sight. You're able to surmise that just based off of the current circumstances that you're in.
Not to ask too many questions, I do apologize, but you said something
No.
and now I have to ask. Lantern.
Yes.
Glass?
No. It looks to be made of some kind of metal, possibly iron.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm for now, just to see what they're doing, I'm going to continue watching. Because if ultimately they get away, then my next step is to meet back up with... Actually, I'll probably meet first with Drew and Aoife just to make sure they're okay. He has more faith in Nehemiah just because of circumstance.
Sure.
But he will make sure that Drew and Aoife are at least okay somewhere before finding the others and potentially corralling. But I'm just going to watch first. I'm just going to stay forever vigilant watching.
I'm going to need you to give me a stealth check.
Stop making me roll. I'm scared. Okay, I can do that. Oh.
Woof.
Hey, DM, I'm pushing.
Really?
No sixes.
For those who are watching, so no sixes. For those who are watching, if there are no successes when a roll is called, the player has the opportunity to push if they wish. This does incur a condition. And so I will say, yeah, go ahead and push.
Ho! Out of my 4 die, I'm taking a picture, 3 successes.
Damn! Yes!
You love to see it.
Very nice.
Can I spin one of those 6 successes to clear that condition?
I was about to actually just give it to you.
Hey!
Yeah, this is just like, yeah, you pushed, you very quickly start to drift further back into the newspaper office, and you sort of find your way past some of the printing machines, very underused at this point, no longer printing the daily newspaper. And you hide amidst the paper and the ink, and you wait.
I want to just end that. It's quite literally just, you see that he's already down. You would expect him to like stand slightly or maybe like scoot back. He almost goes to a 4-legged position and like slowly moves back, literally into the shadow. Not melding, but just moves into the shadow and lets it overtake him as he just watches.
Okay.
Andy,
go ahead.
Sorry. Just because I get the feeling that Drew's yelling of grenades would catch Nehemiah's attention. Is there a chance that Nehemiah could perhaps snatch a grenade from a nearby crate?
Yeah. Give me, I'm gonna, because this is happening in the midst, like, yeah, the bullets are flying. It's a very fraught situation. I'm going to see if there's maybe perhaps a check that is associated with it, since these crates aren't not necessarily open at this moment. So let's take a look here.
I mean, he's got a knife on him, so he could probably just try and
sure, yeah, absolutely
pry one open.
So this would be. I would like to say that this. You can make the choice between giving me a force check or an agility check.
Force.
Okay. All right.
Okay, well, that's one dice and it's a 6.
You guys are fire right now. This is amazing. Okay.
Boy.
Okay, you very with your knife as you are running past. I'll ask, Nehemiah, are you holding Dove in any way? Are you?
Nope.
what
Dove is
the
ahead of me.
proximity?
I'm running. I'm trying to stop any sort of. I'm essentially stopping them. I want them to hit me if they're going to hit anybody. Like
Got
I
it.
don't want.
Okay.
Dove
You take your knife, and as you are running by this crate, you sort of jam and then rake it across, slicing through the wood very easily. You are able to grab. I'll say you're able to grab 2 grenades.
and then I'm gonna keep it moving because I have a plan for those if
Okay.
necessary.
You make your way. You're able to make your way around the alley. Dove, you are following, or you're actually running ahead of him. Drew and Aoife, you are moving towards the church. You see it slightly uphill as you're making your way towards the old building. Nehemiah, I'm going to ask, what are we thinking with these grenades?
They primarily distraction tactic.
Okay.
So I'll do what I normally don't do, and I'll lay my cards on the table. Is if they're following Dove and Nehemiah, it's probably going to be like an explosion to basically smoke screen / deter them from following us.
Okay.
And then secondarily, since he was able to get 2, perhaps one is like a direct neutralizing of the threat.
Got it. As you turn and you sort of very quickly gaze to see what the proximity is, you see that 3 of the 4. So it's a group of 5. So there's an officer and then there's 4 soldiers, including the creature. You see the 3 of the soldiers have moved, and they're almost directly in line with the other crates. The officer and the creature are further back, but not by that much. And they are just now, as they're moving past the crates, the 3 soldiers have started to, bring their guns to bear and begin to, as you're around the corner now. So, but only just, and you hear the sound of the guns cracking, and suddenly, as you very quickly make your way around the corner, you hear the bullets impact against the brick behind you.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna keep it moving, but now I know that they're heading our way. So,
okay,
I'm gonna stash one grenade and I'm gonna hold on to the other one. But I'm not pulling any pins or anything yet. I'm just readying it should I need.
Okay. Drew. I was about to say Drew and Aoife.
I was going to ask how far we have traveled in this.
Oh, you've made your way up around the corner. You're getting closer to the church. It's directly ahead of you. Again, that lone candle is burning brightly in the window. The church itself is a brick and stone church. It is one of the oldest churches in Belfast, in this part of town. There's a singular tower, a brick and stone tower that is jutting up into the sky. It almost looks slightly castle-like in its construction. Not so much cathedral, more so it looks like an old church as opposed to something that was built in France or parts of England. At this point you can faintly see standing in the door is a
Do I know the priest as being a local?
Yes, you do know that that Father McCarran is the priest of Sinclair Seaman's Church.
Does he seem to see us or usher us towards him?
He's sort of peeking around from behind the door. There's a double door that opens into the holding area between the front door and the sanctuary, and he is gesturing to you.
Also, at this, being that Aoife was a bit of a follower in this procession out of our former situation, I notice that we are missing part of our party and look to Drew and say, "Do you think everyone's going to be all right?"
I think they'll be fine. Just, we'll meet him later. And Andy, do we see, because I think one of the things that Drew is thinking about is the concept of whether or not we still have people following us, and whether or not they, whatever angle they may be coming from, they will see us going into the church.
Right. All you've heard, or unless you're taking a time to stop and look, you don't know yet. You do know that, you heard the sounds of the gunfire and the sound of the bullets ricocheting off the walls. As you do know that Nehemiah, everyone is essentially out of sight, like direct line of sight. You don't know where Cliff is at this point. You saw him disappear into the newspaper, but you don't know where he's moving currently. But at this moment right now, you're fairly confident that you're out of sight of the Germans.
Okay, so I think, after Drew,
Rushing.
I would say that Drew just, especially when spots the father gesturing to them, he just sort of go, and just sort of just making sure that she goes in first, and as he's behind her, is just kind of like running and keeping an eye over his shoulder, just trying to make sure that if she goes in and then someone shows up to and sees us of the Germans, he'll probably veer to the side and maybe do a lap, just try to lead them so they don't go straight into the church.
I was actually seeing it even as they're running hand in hand, and being that Drew is definitely stronger than she is pulling her along and almost would slingshot her forward, shooting her into the door and doing what you said there.
As you are making your way up the steps of the Sinclair Siemens Church, and you hear Father Patrick's voice saying, "Eva, Drew, get in, quickly."
We're coming.
You guys make your way into the opening of the doorway. Father Patrick very quickly slams the door behind you. You have arrived at Sinclair Siemens Church. Meanwhile, Nehemiah and Dove, I would say you're about 30 or so feet past the corner as you are running. Nehemiah, you see that Drew and Aoife have made their way successfully to the church. At this point, though, you do see the first German suddenly turn the corner, look up, look towards the church, or look in the direction of the church, not at the church, but look in the direction of the church at the end of the street, and then look towards you and sees you in the alley.
Nehemiah is going to pull his pistol and aim for the neck.
Okay. I like it. Okay. I need you to shoot the son of a bitch.
It's ranged combat precision, no?
Yes, it is, and I believe your pistol also gives you a bonus as well.
So does that mean I roll 2 more? Okay. Un momento, please. Ooh, that's 3 6s, baby.
You drop this guy. He rounds the corner, brings his gun to bear, and then you're just and you just takes one in the chest and then takes the other in the neck. And this guy drops immediately. Lights out. Thank you for playing. Good night. And you hear the sound of the officer. Was ist? The beginning tendrils of smoke start to enter into the alley. You don't see them yet, but you know that they're close. This creature, this black dog, is not far behind.
Cool. I'm going to turn my attention back to Dove, and I'm following. I'm following on Dove's dowsing rod.
I think
Okay.
as we stop and you pull your gun to take this shot, my dowsing rods are going haywired. And I'm trying to get them to calm down as I turn and we keep running towards the docks.
Okay. Give me a vigilance check, Dove.
Jeez Louise. Okay. And that's plus my logic. Okay. Not very vigilant. Oh, I guess I am today. I got 1 success.
Okay. As you are, you're following your rods, you take a very brief moment to look from them up, and you see about 60 or so feet down, peeking very slightly, it looks to be a lad of about 15, sort of peeking his head out from behind, and you see the face of Finn.
Oh.
Where is he? Yes. Yes, you see the face of Finn O'Donnell.
I immediately tug on Nehemiah's sleeve and point, and then I go, I'm still trying to be quiet, but I'm emphatically waving him forward so that he can come with us.
He shakes his head. No. He's points at you and just into the building.
I'll pull
the building that he
Nehemiah
is
that way.
peeking out of looks to be part factory, part office, series of offices mainly reserved for ship parts. So you know that inside this particular building is where they would store very large ship parts, anchors, propellers. But yes, these things are in the line, or the metal piece that basically helps the helm direct large ships.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gestures frantically towards you. What do you say anything to Nehemiah, or are you just tugging on their shirt?
I think there's a moment of me pointing dowsing rods and be and then as soon as it's not working, I'm just gonna tap on Nehemiah's shoulder with the pencils, and it's becoming air flight traffic control very quickly as I'm trying to connect the dots. Because to me, being quiet and not being seen is paramount right now. So
Sure.
I'm trying to be communicative without getting us got.
You're commando without even knowing that you're commando right now. It's all. Okay. Both you and Nehemiah are going to the building. Or the shipwright building.
Yes.
Okay.
Before that, though, I am going to pull the pin and count. I'm going to count 3 because I'm not familiar with this grenade, and that feels like a safe number. And I'm gonna throw it.
3 sounds like a good number.
Listen,
I like it.
It's been a while since he's thrown a grenade. He doesn't know if they've got new counters. It's 1, 2, 3, pull. Because he figures it's best case scenario is going to hit more SS officers. Worst case scenario, they're going to have a little bit of a hard time seeing exactly where they left from.
Okay. Yeah. I love it. Give me a this is okay.
That's not worst case. Worst case scenario is that this is a 2-count grenade. But
yeah, I'll say given the fact that you are a hunter, and given the fact that you know your way around weapons, I will say this is a 2 dice pool roll, and you're able to add your precision to it.
okay, so that'd be 5 total. Okay.
Yep.
Neato. 1 success.
1 success. You lob this thing and you turn around. You don't even look to see where it lands. It's just you lob it and you're done. Just for the hell of it, Nehemiah, I'm going to allow you to roll for advantage. Just give me another roll. See if you get any additional successes off of it.
1 additional success off of that. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you toss this thing. It sort of bounces off the cobblestone and bounces off of the corner. And there's a loud yell from the Nazi officer, and you also hear the sound of commotion from the other people. They've not only seen their comrade suddenly get absolutely torn down by your bullets, but now suddenly the grenade lands right in the middle of the alley. There is the sound of an explosion that suddenly rips and sort of peels back into the alley, not in your direction, but into the alley that they're coming from. And there is a sound of stillness as the shockwave and the noise of the grenade going off reverberates off of the walls of this alley. There does not seem, at the moment, to be any sign of further pursuit. You don't know what has happened. You don't know how many people you got. I'll say, though, given their proximity, Cliff, give me a vigilance check.
That I can do.
Sounds like you should grab more.
No, I mean, I could. I don't know.
It went so well.
No successes. I'm not going to push it.
Okay. Very well. You are inky black in the shadows. You are not making any sight or sound that, would alert these soldiers. You are very intent of maintaining absolute stillness and quiet.
I will say, though, with the explosion, having spotted grenades, knowing that my comrades, allies, were closer to grenades than others, just context clues of probably what happened. Probably like a silly small chuckle at the thought of what could be. And it's going to take that as cue to continue stealthing through to start to get towards the church just to check on Drew and Aoife.
You are able to very easily. Now, while you may not have ever been in this particular newspaper, you do know that all of these buildings so you've been charging down this one street. These buildings that were on your left, you jumped into one. All of these buildings, for the most part, whether they are residential or they are they fulfill some kind of function, they have a rear exit to them that goes out into the alley behind, which would then connect to another street that would allow you to get back towards the church. You were able to find your way through the newspaper printing machines very easily. You find the rear exit door. You open it. You see no sign of disturbance. And I'll say you're able to make your way successfully to the church.
And I want to give another visual really quickly because I realized I didn't explain this. If you've ever read or seen, or whether it be a film or an adaptation theatrically of Mice and Men, think Lenny when you think about Cliff, but much skinnier. But that lanky tallness is there, which makes it more striking how quickly and almost easily he slips into the shadows. But getting into the back door, which is probably the only door he's ever been to into this church, because again, he doesn't look like the typical in this space, unless Father Patrick has been kind enough to allow someone like him with no home, no food, no nothing to ever.
I'll say this. You actually probably know Father Patrick better than anybody else in this group. For that specific reason, Father Podrick is one of those priests who's been very influential in the community. He is constantly giving food and inviting, I'll say, the unhoused into his church, whether it's for sanctuary or if it's for warmth. We are getting towards, between fall and winter right now. So the winter is fast approaching. It gets very cold and rainy. So yeah, he's offered shelter when it has been needed. You see Drew and Aoife there as well. They're sort of moving towards the back of the sanctuary. You see that the interior of this space is there is a singular stained glass window at just past the altar. There are pews that go about 20 or so that move towards the front of the church with a singular aisle, with aisles on both sides. And yeah, it's a very, the thing about it is that this church looks like slightly out of time. Like it is of a time it's of an older time than the one that is currently happening around you now, where you are in very much the 1940s, a very industrial sort of war-torn era at this point.
I mean, that's probably in a weird way a familiarity within the space. And there's definitely, I dare not say reverence, because a lot of truths have become very clear to him. So it's not necessarily a reverence, but there is a respect of the spirituality of this space.
Mm-hmm.
He leans on the wall, but intentionally doesn't lean on like the stained glass, or doesn't lean on like the pulpit or where the Bibles are set, things of that nature, being kind of very clearly understanding where he is by not messing anything up. But there's still a level of blasé as he leans against the wall, waiting for Drew and Aoife to come into view. He's already pulled out the liquor bottle that he has, and he's just
you see a moment of unchristian like judgment come from Father Podrick as he sees the bottle, but then he doesn't. He's just like,
I will say that most likely, though, Drew would have stayed by the door a little longer.
Yeah.
Just to see if he could hear any of the boots approaching. And one of the things that I would have asked too is, we have done missions before. We established prior that we've done maybe 7 missions or so. Nehemiah took a shot. Would it be safe to say that their weapon sounds different than whatever the Germans are using?
Oh, 100%. It's a I'll say it's a 1911 pistol that Nehemiah has. So yeah, it sounds very different from the MP40 submachine guns that the Germans are using.
And it's a pistol that I probably have heard before.
Oh yeah.
So I think, especially with Aoife having asked, do you think they're going to be okay? I think there's that moment after closing the door, and then I just hear the sound of Nehemiah's weapon, and then a little later there's a grenade, and it's just, I think they'll be all right.
Yep. I love it.
Probably that's when he stays by the door first for a little bit, just trying to see if there's any trouble that came their way.
Okay. Aoife, you are now safely inside Sinclair Seaman's church. Father Podrick is having, you see the sort of the eyes between Father Podrick and Cliff, and you and then he turns Father Podrick he's bald on top with just the faintest of just a shock of white hair that still clings to the back of his head and sort of around his temples a little bit. He has this trimmed goatee, just very silver fox white hair, and he is dressed in the collar, and he has the sign of he has the cross, and he is, I'll say, kindly eyes, kindly blue-green eyes that you've always found him to be very warm and comforting, especially the world being the way it is right now. He looks at both of you and says, Sweet Lord Jesus, I'm so happy to see that you all have arrived safe.
Well,
Drew, I think it would be best if we moved down to the cellar.
not all of us have arrived safely just yet.
I thought so. There's usually 2 more of you, isn't there?
There are, usually.
I'm sorry, it's Nehemiah and Dove. Yes. Where are they gone off to?
Don't
And
you
if-
worry about them, he says, again, just lounging against the doorway. Against the wall. And something to note, Aoife, y'all 100% went towards the church before he did. He went the opposite way and somehow was on the other side. It's there before you got inside. There's a weirdness about that. Either way, just gives a smile. They'll be good. We'll catch up to them.
Just to clarify, hold on. So, wait, you got into the church before we got into the
Well,
church?
you remember, you all walked into the front. I walked into the back, but I'm already situated as you all are walking.
Sorry, I
there.
missed that in the narration.
Yeah.
Understood.
No worries.
And then also the priest was noticing you drinking from the back. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, trying to resettle myself. Okay, cool. Still the words from my mouth, did you? Oh, Cliff, there you are. How'd you get here? Didn't you go around the back way? Well, I'm glad that you're safe.
Yeah.
Sounds like those outside are also handled.
Well, the large explosion definitely said something. Drew, what do you think?
I think that if Nehemiah was the one who caused the explosion,
You think?
whatever the location of that is, there's going to be more coming. So I hope that they're moving. Andy, do we as a group would have, at this point, a rendezvous point?
A rendezvous point was not discussed.
I feel like this is the rendezvous.
It was kind of a frantic, you go that way, we go this way. Hope we all live.
I meant more considering the fact that we are in wartime.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
If we have a protocol of either as a haven, a particular safe house haven location, that it's like, if things were to like shit hits the fan, this is where we meet.
I think in the franticness of the moment, splitting up was the main objective, but you do know that the church would probably be the rendezvous point. Father Patrick has always been very sympathetic to all of you in terms of your cause, and his knowledge of the fact that you have the sight and are able to see the others is something that he is very aware of.
Okay. So that being said, I think for Drew I'd like to think that they'll come this way. Let's just keep our eyes and ears open, yeah?
Cliff, you said they'll be okay. Do you think they'll be fine if we go down into the cellar then?
You too. Stella, I go get.
I think, to that, Ava's relationship with Cliff, I think, is still hesitant. I think she still reads his body language in a way that she's not quite sure how to interact, which communication is, the sole bond between her and Drew, being that up until this point, she has operated as a Spanish to English dictionary by means of her automatic writing that she's used to help him acclimate to this time. again, I think just that discomfort halts her breath as she nods and smiles and then looks to Drew. Right. Downstairs to go, I guess.
I think Drew does his best to offer some level of affirmation. When Cliff gives the order, there's a moment that Drew looks at Cliff, and probably Cliff knows this look by now. There's that thing of, if it was up to me, let's go like head on and tackle whatever's left if anybody's coming. But you also know that he pretty much has this innate desire always to keep an eye on Aoife. And so there's that slight torn feeling that he has in that moment, but he knows that you somehow find your way to appear in places earlier than you would have expected, and there's something about you. He's choosing to rely on that and trust that so that he can encourage Aoife to go to the cellar. And he just nods and looks at Father for if the cellar needs to be opened or unlocked or whatever it is.
Okay.
And
you guys make your way down into the cellar.
I was going to say really quickly, Cliff will give it's a smile, and the thing about smiles is they can be interpreted in so many different ways. It's definitely a soft smile that easily can be interpreted as a grin at Aoife. Before eyes flick over to Drew, he takes another swig from the bottle that he has, and more strong than it needs to be, more so that it is precise at the very least, tosses the bottle of liquor to Drew. He's heard that, in taverns and things, you need to calm your nerves. I'm good. You're not. And he will pass that bottle, almost give he doesn't do that. He will give like a nod to the father. He doesn't wear a hat, but he just gives like a nod to the father, before he kind of lazily slips back out the back and is going to attempt to go get the others.
As Cliff leaves, I think Aoife absolutely looks at Drew and is like, can I have some of that?
I think
This is a house of God, child.
We're Irish, Father. We're Irish.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Totally forgot. Yes, libations for everyone.
We have 2 glasses of wine at our Sunday masses.
Yes.
man.
As you guys make your way down to the cellar, we will now switch over, and after this, we will take a break. Nehemiah, Dove, you are standing in the middle of this factory floor. There are large machine parts and ship pieces all around you. Finn, 15-year-old, one-armed, is brought you into the space. He looks at you. What are you doing?
Oh, come here, you. And I'm going to grab him and pull him straight into a hug.
No!
I know.
Jesus!
Oh, good God. And I'll let him go. And I'll then immediately turn to Nehemiah and go, you promised no big bangs.
He doesn't look up. He holsters his pistol because he had it in his opposite hand. Fun fact for you, Nehemiah is ambidextrous. And he kind of just almost gives that kind of Han Solo smirk as he looks up. It's very cowboy-esque, and he goes, I only promised no big bangs if we didn't need one as a last resort.
You didn't even let me try my last resort, and you promised I would get to try my last resort before you tried your last resort, which is always your first resort.
So it's not actually about the bang. It's actually about the fact that you didn't get to do your own bang.
Right.
I love it. Oh, man.
Well, the absolute next time you are running behind me, you can call the shot.
Okay. Then you have to learn the dowsing rods, like we talked about.
Hold on a second. So I'm supposed to let you utilize the dowsing rods and utilize your last resorts?
Finn is, he's a waif of the streets, but he does always have conversations with adults, but he doesn't normally get to see them argue in front of each other, or in front of him, and so he's just sort of looking back and forth between the two of you as you guys have this little bit of a snit. He sort of regards both of you. He does admire the two of you, because he also has the sight.
Oh.
And he, not in a hunter way, he is, because of his one arm, which he lost in a shipbuilding accident on the docks, he is not able to hunt as many of you do. But he still does possess the sight, which makes him uniquely qualified to give you all information. And he sort of looks between the two of you and he says, Nehemiah, are you looking for the Banshee?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, I thought you were being chased. I thought you were being chased by a Banshee.
Say more.
I thought that was why you were throwing the grenades and...
Keep talking.
Keep
talking.
One moment. We were being chased by inhumane monsters, but not exactly a banshee. No.
No. Let the boy speak.
I wasn't going to stop him, Dove. I just said we weren't, in this specific instance, being chased by a Vaesen. We were being chased by inhumane monsters incapable of empathy and light.
Okay, well, two things can be true at the same time, and I've been trying to teach you this concept, but... Anyway, I would love to get your first-hand account, Finn, on this Banshee.
Yeah. There's been the sounds of a Banshee's wail coming from the Thompson docks. I mean, I will have Dove, please give me...
Oh, no.
Actually, hold on. Please give me a... Please give me a learning check, please.
Okay, that and plus my logic.
Why are you making that roll? Are you saying Thompson docks, or what are you saying?
The Thompson docks.
Thompson docks? Okay, great. I want to make sure I was saying that correctly. Thank you.
Could I push it?
I will say yes, but you will incur a condition.
Correct. Okay.
Correct.
Oh, thank God. One success.
Okay. Given that you have been running through the streets for some time, and it is a very scary situation that you find yourself in, given your connection with everything around you right now, I'll say you're taking the exhausted condition.
All right. And so
Okay.
I shall.
But as you are recalling in that moment, the lore surrounding Banshee, you do know that the sound that they make, or the wail that they make, specifically, it usually foretells a Banshee's wail heralds death. And in sort of a prophetic way, it is foretelling another person's death?
Yeah, I think I would know a lot about this. And I'm writing down what I can. It's in terrible, terrible penmanship. While Finn is talking about having heard this, I'm gonna kind of flicker eyes over at Nehemiah and see if any of this is registering as something familiar to him also. Nehemiah is like the one person I don't want to over-explain something he already knows to, because he would let me get through it all and then look at me like I'm crazy. So is this looking to me like you are aware of like the lore of banshees in general?
Is there anything you need me to roll for that, Andy?
I will say give me a learning check.
I have nothing in learning.
So then you would give me a logic check.
Okay. So that means that I would roll 3. So I have 3 in logic. Is that how that works?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing for you. I'm not willing to push it.
Okay, great. Then I will just nod as Finn is talking, and once he's done, I'll go, Banshees to Nehemiah, and then back to Finn. Around when were you hearing this?
Oh, just earlier this morning.
All right. Well, have you ever seen a banshee?
Oh, hi. Loads.
Great. For Nehemiah, who has no idea what a banshee is, what would you say they look like?
So Andy is going to reference the amazing Vaesen Mythic Britain and Ireland guide for a description of banshees. So,
Loads. This is going to be crazy.
So, a banshee is normally a solitary, always female figure, and usually the result of a violent or traumatic death. Banshees are often invisible, but can sometimes be seen as spectral figures with wild hair and eyes reddened by crying. They can appear as attractive young women or as ancient and hideous hags. Some reports credit a banshee with the ability to cause death as well as predict it. So their cry is an omen of an unavoidable death. Does that answer your question?
It sure does, but I want to know what the child says they look like.
Oh, you wanted you wanted Finn.
It's the exact same thing, but in his voice.
No.
It's
It's
really
not.
not.
It's actually not. Oh, you see, he'd suddenly get very embarrassed because he's been put on the spot, much like Andy, and they banshees. They're like trolls, right? They're monstrous, hideous, and they have like red hair and giant arms, and they could tear you limb from limb if they had a mind to.
I instinctively look.
And they're always crying about something.
I instinctively look for Cliff, even though Cliff isn't there. Because sometimes I'll look to make eye contact with Cliff to share like a silent moment, and he just will be there. So I look off in the corner, the darkest corner, and I'm like, am I right? Oh, not there this time. Okay. And then I look back over at Nehemiah and go, we should tell everyone else what's happening and try and reconvene at the church if there's no one.
I absolutely agree, but we should do so in a quieter fashion because we don't know if any of them inhumane monsters survived the blast.
For the record, because I agree with you, but for the record, I was silent the entire time and one of us sent off a huge explosion and a gunshot, just saying?
No. You misunderstand, Miss Dove. I meant after the explosion, we should stay quiet in here so they don't come and go, hey, there's a bunch of people talking in there. Let's go investigate.
And again, I agree with you.
Are you telling Dove that she talks really loudly?
I'm saying
one of the quietest people on the planet.
It's not aimed specifically at Dove. It is, hey, we should all lower our...
I mean, it sounded like a personal attack to me.
Dove doesn't really recognize those. Dove would just straight up go, all right, quiet game, and look at you very intently and go, like gesture towards up the direction of the church to see if we should be moving that way or if you have a different charade to give me back in mind.
And on that, we will actually cut to Cliff. You're making your way down towards the Thompson Docks.
Making my way.
Down towards the last place that you saw them.
Yeah, it hasn't been explained yet, and maybe it will later. Maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it won't. I don't know. But there's a level of, as he is sticking to the shadows, sticking to, and not necessarily shadows, just sticking to spots unseen, unlooked at immediately, as one needs to do. Every so often, it's as if he uninstinctively turns his head in a direction, and he knows that's where Nehemiah is. So he's following the intuition that he has, as he has been doing for quite some time.
Okay. As I need you to do two things.
Yeah.
Are you moving? You're moving. You said you were moving stealthily, correct?
Just because, even though Big Bang happened, we don't know.
Sure.
There could be others, to be fair. Also,
so go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Yeah, I can do that, Captain. That will be this. One, nope. I will push this because it's specifically stealthing and I don't want to give things away.
Okay.
One success.
Okay. I'll say, just because of everything that has happened, you will take one condition, and that condition will be you are exhausted.
Fair. I'm old. I'm tired.
You are able to make your way very quietly, very stealthily down the street, sort of sticking to the shadows as you make your way. You see the road that you came down before you may split. There are three, including the one that Nehemiah shot. There are three German soldiers that are deceased. They have shuffled off this mortal coil, and their bodies are strewn about the ground. They give me a vigilance.
And remind me, when it says -1 modifier, it just means take away a dice.
Yes.
Thank you. So I have the one condition. You said vigilance?
Mm-hmm.
Great. I'll be rolling 3. One success.
One success. On the ground, now, you see the three soldiers. You see the one that has the bullet holes, and then you see the other two the other three that are dead as a result of the grenade. The soldier who was dropped by Finn, his gun is still on him and looks fairly tip-top ship-shape, usable. It is an MP40, so it is a submachine gun. Also, further back, you see blood on the ground, further back away from the other dead bodies. And on the ground, you see an iron lantern necklace has fallen. And on that, we will take a 5 to 7 minute break.
Immaculate.
We'll actually pick up right where we left off with Cliff. You see
No cliffhangers here.
on the ground a usable MP40. You also spy, just beyond that, a trail of blood that leads back down the street from where you came, or where you ran from before you split up. You see this trail of blood, and then just a few feet beyond that, as this thing moves back down the street, you see an inky black tendril just sort of dissipate into the ground. And right where that does, you see this chain. And at the end of this chain, you see it has been broken, and on it, or once was hanging on it, is an iron lantern amulet.
You see his eyes trail towards the MP40 first, just as he's moving, and for a moment, it's as if he's like outside of his body, as he's remembering, as he's thinking about the scenario that you were just in, the running, the men with guns, the dogs. Too familiar. So just for a moment, there is a pause. Quickly lets that subside as there's more important things at hand. I do pick up the MP40.
Okay.
I do pick up the MP40. I stare at it for a bit before stowing it in a way that I can, at the very least, be able to carry it. But then I will look over to the iron lantern necklace. Do I sense any residual energy or whatever about it? Do I think that... Am I confident enough that because of what I'm seeing on the ground, the dog is gone?
Give me a learning check.
I can do that. Learning? What is school?
And I will say you can do this at advantage.
What does advantage mean in this game?
You are able to... I'll give you the language specifically.
I appreciate
With advantage.
you, OGM.
Guys, Vaesen, it's an incredible game. Definitely go and buy it at all of your favorite gaming stores / online. But definitely go to the gaming stores too, because they desperately need you. So with advantage, you can use an advantage to increase your chance of success. In this case, it will be a... You know what? Just because of your unique background, I'll say you can add 2 dice to this roll.
I would do that. Thank you so much, oh kind GM. That is 2 successes.
Okay. So you're looking at this iron lantern amulet. The chain is broken, and it sort of like falls out of the little hook piece that keeps the amulet in place, and you're holding the lantern. And as you're holding the lantern, it's almost as if you can, at least in the immediate area around you, your sight is enhanced. It's almost like a little bit like an X-ray vision. The sight that you possess already, you can see the Vaesen, but here you can sort of see their energy. It's almost like seeing something in infrared, almost, or like heat vision.
More able to pinpoint where things might be in order to get to them.
As you are paused on this street, as you've just picked up the MP40, stashed it, and then grabbed this amulet, you look back down towards the direction of the docks where you know Nehemiah and Dove should be. And as you look down in that direction, you see a green, yellowish glow that is hovering above the Thompson docks, headed slightly in the direction of where you saw Nehemiah and Dove going.
You say slightly, but I think if I know anything, I know intent. Does it look like it has a direction, or is it just coasting?
I will say...
I don't think there's not much else in this group that can detect that more than me.
Yeah. I'm not going to even make you roll for it. It's almost like this thing is sniffing the air, almost. Like it is searching for something to latch on to.
Too many problems at once. Purpose, instruction, desire. Get Nehemiah and Dove back to church. If that becomes a problem later, then it becomes a problem later. But At the very
I
least.
didn't think that church would be such a very big fixture of this.
Well-
like, I knew that it was a place that would be in this session, but I was like, we need to get you guys back to church.
You gotta go. We're getting to
Welcome
church.
to Ireland.
Hosier has called.
I was just gonna say I was gonna sing, but I don't want us to get a copyright strike.
He will hold that iron lantern for a moment, his eyes scanning once more before he heads towards the docks, still keeping, low, quiet, whatever. More importantly, because again, there's an almost snap of his head as he knows where Nehemiah is. And as he moves towards the docks, not really a detour, but a slight detour to throw the gun in the water.
You're discarding the MP40.
Absolutely. Because if it has a certain type of sound, we don't want to be associated with that type of gun if used.
Okay. As you approach the water, you take the MP40 from where you were stowing it, and as you are holding it out over the water to just toss it in, suddenly emerging from the water, just looking up at you, not with malicious intent, but looking up at you, you see a Selkie. This creature, hair hanging down, very much like Girl from the Ring kind of vibe, just hanging down over its eyes and its facial features. You see this creature, its eyes are very large and black as it looks up at you. You've seen a Selkie before. You know what this creature is. You've never seen one that looked quite like this. This one, with its eyes specifically, it's looking at, in your direction, but it seems to be looking past you. Off into, the depths of Belfast.
Okay.
It stares, almost as if it's sightless, just looking past Cliff.
Okay.
And it says, They open the gate. They open the gate. Don't let them open the gate. And the Selkie sinks beneath the water.
I want to say before it goes away, write down notes. I'm a note taker. Before it sinks back down, he wouldn't have thrown it immediately. And as it begins to speak, and as it finishes its sentence, he's looking directly at it, not like family, but there's a level of understanding. And he says in a low, low tone, I can do that. You make sure this is handled. And he tosses the gun to the Selkie.
The gun splashes in front of the Selkie. The Selkie, its eyes almost seems to, it's sort of like snake eyes, where they have their eyelids on the, not from side to side, not on top to bottom, but it sort of flickers, blinks, and it's almost like the eyes refocus, and suddenly they go from a fully black sclera to an actual eye. It is not staring past you anymore. It focuses on Cliff, and it says, "It shall be done." And they sink beneath the water, taking the firearm with them.
Now, with intensity, still stealthness, with intensity, with that being done, understanding that not time is of the essence, but that, probably something over there. I'm getting to the people now, so no longer gun weighing me down. I don't want that thing anyway to disgust me. I go get my people.
Okay. You make your way to give me a vigilance check.
I had to take away 1 because I'm exhausted. 3 die, all 6s.
That's what makes this game wicked cool. And that's what also makes this hilarious.
Oh no.
As you make your way stealthily back down towards, you don't know exactly what building they jumped into because what they did was, obscured. The only person who may have had an idea would maybe be Drew, but you did not see them where they actually ended up. But with 3 6s, I'll say, as you approach the area, you definitely hear them. And you hear whatever the conversation was between Nehemiah and Dove as Nehemiah...
I understand. Is there a possibility for me to show up As Dove was saying, they're describing Banshee, and she said, "Is Cliff over there?" And he is right there now.
Yes. We can definitely, we're not really retconning anything. It's just like, you didn't expect to see him, or you usually see him,
the other dark corner. It's like I look up into one dark corner, different dark corner.
Uncannily, he's usually behind you and to the left for the most of the time. And it's around the time where Nehemiah is telling you, like, just talk quieter. And Cliff is suddenly there, sort of emerging from the shadow.
Y'all done?
Quiet. Indeed.
And I'm scribbling on my hand with this, like, not fountain pen, that's gonna hurt me. Something else, a paintbrush. I'm using a paintbrush to write on my hand. I have to write all over all the time. So, like, up to here, you can see lots of paint and ink and fading words. And I write Banshee on my hand and hold it up to Cliff.
The look you get is a look of, yep.
Finn hasn't seen. He sees Dove suddenly look behind him. It's just, sweet Mary, Jesus, Joseph.
I clap my hand over his mouth.
You do? He makes a loud 15-year-old noise, sort of he's just like exclaiming. The sight of Cliff just suddenly appearing out of nowhere is startling, to say the least. He feels, sorry, Miss Dove, sweet Mary, Jesus, and Joseph, like, you gave me a fright.
The language.
Sorry.
Don't you worry about it, little man. We need to go. Church.
Well,
I guess you can come too.
Are the streets safe now?
Stick to the shadows. There ain't much left for now. That don't mean other things ain't.
Okay. I need everybody, I'm assuming you're making your way back to the church. Okay. I need everybody to give me a stealth check.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
This is a skill I think most people in this group probably have. I don't need to do that. Okay.
Drew's not like, he got 2 successes. Okay.
One success.
Yes,
2 success.
for me.
2 for me.
Okay. You are all able to make your way back in the direction of the church. You sort of leave the building behind. Finn, he is sticking very close to you, Nehemiah. He sort of like senses you seem like a very secure person, a very safe person to be near. And while this is all happening and you're all making your way safely back to Sinclair's, Drew and Aoife, you're in the basement of the church. And Father Podrick has lit some candles down, and you see there are some barrels where the wine is kept, and there's, of course, the crackers for the communion, or the communion wafers. You also see that there's some old hymnals, Bibles, just left around stacked. There's kind of a musty smell in this basement, but it seems warm for the time. It's a good place of refuge. Drew, you are very secure in this place, even though, are you a believer?
No.
No. Aoife, are you, or have you ever been a believer in any of this?
Of course I am.
Okay. You see this sort of, this look about Drew as he's in the basement with you.
Drew is most likely playing with his bracelet, with his cacao bean bracelet that he has on his left arm. So just like going through the different beats, and his foot is tapping rhythmically, and it seems like he's muttering something or like humming a melody.
Aoife tilts her head. Are you okay?
Yeah.
You seem we're safe here.
Sure.
What's
Tonight.
wrong?
And I think at that point, that's a moment where he sort of gestures to your book, and you know that he's trying to express something that he feels more comfortable expressing in Spanish, because it would take him too long to try to figure it out in English. And so he takes a moment, gestures to you, and then he just says, "Las personas que construyeron castillos como estos son las mismas personas que eliminaron los espíritus de mi mamá."
And to explain this to our audience, that knowing look that Drew gives to Aoife is what's the word that makes her do something? Thank you. That knowing look that Drew gives to Aoife prompts her to pull out a journal that she keeps in her bag that she carries with her. And immediately she pulls out a pen and holds it to the paper. And without thinking, she allows Drew's words in Spanish to translate immediately onto the page. I wonder if this would require a roll, as it would be using her ability of automatic writing to do. Or if this is something that narratively you'll allow for.
I think in this moment, because there's no real stress involved, the stakes, you feel safe in this moment with Drew. I'm not going to ask you to do a roll. You're just communicating, and this is something that you've grown to be very comfortable with, just being with Drew and just hearing the other language that he speaks, a language that you're unfamiliar with, but you are able, through the automatic writing, to sort of immediately interpret onto the page.
And two, I should mention that this translation does not come from her. It comes from something beyond. It is as if she, without thinking, hears the words in her own tongue through her hands, really. So something is communicating with her and translating this. It is something that they haven't really investigated, but together they know it works. And she's off what he says. And please just remind me what you said, because I was prompting myself.
You basically said that the people who build buildings like this were the same people who banished the spirits that his mother followed.
Okay. Reading that over, she looks at him with a soft gaze. I'm sorry. This place is safe to us for this moment, though. And I sure as anything wouldn't let anything hurt you here.
There's a little smile, and he just looks at you and says, and as you feel the translation, what turns out to be, he's just saying, oh, so you're going to protect me? And it's just trying to create some levity in the space to distract himself from the walls that surround him.
She, with a mouth agape, she reads that and she says, I've gotten you out of a situation once or twice before.
You just see him kind of go, sorry, I know English.
As she speaks, it's as if her hands are moving beyond her own, so it would be of your control to not read from her book. And she tries to take the book and shove it in your face.
I think he laughs. He allows the situation to, it remains a little playful. And There's that thing of, I feel like he allows that play, that lightness, and then there's just a moment where, as the sounds quiet down and the laughter quiets down, he sort of looks up, and you can probably tell that he's just listening to the silence of the building. He's hoping to hear footsteps, like the various footsteps of hopefully people coming in, which will be the rest of the group, and they'll be fine. You hear him say that, but it's more to himself than to you.
I think she just echoes that. Again, more to herself than to you.
Dove, you and the other fellows with Finn, you made your way back to the church. Give me a vigilance check.
This is crazy.
Actually, no.
Thank God.
No. Not a vigilance.
Okay, great.
Give me an observation check.
Okay. And I have to take one away from this because of my condition. Okay. I'm busy.
Very well.
I don't see anything.
You all make your way to... Sorry, we've broken. The situation is fraught.
Right.
You all make your way back to the church, Sinclair Seaman's church. Cliff, you make your way all the way back to the back door where you were able to lead them in. You see Father Podrick sort of waiting for you in the space beyond the altar. So glad you made it back safe, lad.
You don't have to worry about me, preacher. He looks over to make sure that Dove, Nehemiah, and Finn followed.
Oh, Finn, me boy, where were you? I was down. There's a banshee father. There's a banshee father down by the Thompson docks. But you won't believe what I scraped up. I was a bit naughty about it, but I was able to find something that I think you might be interested in.
This is a great conversation. How about you do it downstairs?
I was going to echo that sentiment. Thank you once again, Cliff.
Okay. And you see sort of this very excited look on Finn's face. Father Patrick gestures towards the basement, or the stairs to the basement. Very well. Please make your way down to the basement. You'll find there are some wee provisions that I've sort of cobbled together, but also it's warm down there and safe and quiet. Drew and Aetha are both down there. You all make your way down to the basement.
Immediately try to find the nearest. It's a church communion wine.
There are two like very large casks of wine towards the back that are like next to them are the boxes of communion wafers that the priest will place on the tongue of the parishioners.
I find the nearest goblet. I don't care if it's dirty, and I pour some of that wine.
You get some of the communion wine. Again, it's a communion wine, so there's no real specific vintage about this thing. So you're basically drinking a kind of a grapey vinegar.
It's giving Welch's.
Yeah. Bitter Welch's.
Bitter Welch. I don't care. I'm just gonna
musty Welch's.
Before anything else takes place, I rush over to Aoife. I get down on my haunches. I'm crouched in front of you, and I go, "Are you all right?"
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so happy that you're okay. I actually think, too, that you guys coming down the stairs is not met with us just kind of sitting around. I'm pretty sure both Drew and Aoife have picked themselves up and come to meet you at the stairs, so...
Flinging arms around. Dove is absolutely a hugger, so just kind of envelops you both and goes, "And I found a local boy."
A local boy?
They know who Finn is.
Yes.
They've met the local child.
The only one that we have. This one local child. And I go, "And I brought Finn. He was hiding down at the docks, and he seems to have found something. If you're all right, come take a look."
Please, let's look.
Well, it's outside. Docks. Don't want to get too close to there right now, considering what's happening out here.
Yes, we did hear tell of a banshee, and there's some very strange dark energy. It felt like Vaesen to me. I wasn't able to get a clear picture of it because Nehemiah, as always, saved the day with panache, and so I couldn't, and making out details during the panache segment is hard to do. It was very...
Was the panache the explosion?
It was, yes.
You said bench?
Yes.
Sir DM, I know that we didn't specify details, but was our last mission...
Victor?
Yes.
It's GM. DM is my father.
I'm so sorry, Mr. GM. DM.
How embarrassing.
So
how embarrassing.
And this is how I was no longer part of the project. I became just the sponsor and the voice.
Egg rolls, you.
Egg roll. Is that the question was, we sort of just vaguely mentioned the fact of some missions that we've done before, and one of the mentions was that the last mission that we were going to do potentially didn't come to fruition because things happened and maybe we weren't able to complete the hunt that we were on. And the mention of a banshee was sort of tossed around, and I don't know if we're making that canon, but if so, I think during this moment we'd be looking at the part of the rest of the group asking, Banshee, in a sense of like, as in
That banshee.
that banshee.
I didn't get to lay eyes on it, or I didn't even get to hear the scream, which I think would have been telling. But honestly,
You won't hear the scream unless it's time for you to die.
well, that's why I was listening out, just in case it was for me.
I will say this. You
Oh boy.
No, don't roll dice.
No, you don't get to do that. That's our job.
Incorrect. I do not have to do that.
I will say, Father Podrick, he looks at you, Cliff. Cliff, what have you seen? Are you feeling okay?
I'm tired, Father. I'm corralling these kids, making sure all this is okay. But I did technically see the greenish yellow glow outside upon the water.
How'd you see that?
I got eyes. You got eyes too. We all got eyes. Eyes for days.
Cliff. Greenish yellow, is that regular for the banshees? Do we know?
A more important question now that it's coming to my mind. Would the average person with the sight see a greenish yellow glow?
No.
No!
No, I mean, that was sorry, going back. The thing that made the amulet, picking the amulet up off the ground, that is what gave you this enhanced sight. You can see the Vaesen. That is the gift of the sight. But seeing the aura around you, that is what sort of clued you in. That's where that thing is.
Gotcha. Understood.
It's a sight beyond sight.
Yeah, maybe it's the truest of sights. Either way, he, realizing what the father's talking about, he goes, the unspeakables, the bastards coming through here with the guns. Turns out, not only are they problematic in many different ways, they are friends with, and he holds up the iron lantern necklace. And they made some friends on the other side, I would say.
Well, that's not... Well, that's very unusual that they are able to do that. Because they're not from here. They shouldn't possess the sight.
And yet they did. He dangles it in front of him, almost annoyed with it, but almost like there's a playfulness. Like there's now a toy physically to handle, and he just.
And to validate Cliff's claims, unnecessarily, I will add, did see a black dog with them, and they didn't seem particularly terrified or ignorant of the fact.
The Germans have Vaesen?
It would seem, to my great displeasure, to elucidate, yeah.
I have
Ava.
a question.
Sure.
I have a question. Is it unheard of for there to be Vaesen in other lands, or is
there absolutely are. But
so this is an ill-informed observation of the father?
No, it's not. It's the fact that it's here. Like they're able to harness a Vaesen here.
That is odd.
Yeah.
To all of us.
I mean, every part of the world has their own Vaesen. But for someone without the sight to be able to come into this environment and somehow use a Vaesen or take a Vaesen and manipulate a Vaesen, that is weird.
Understood.
To be fair, though, we do not know for a fact that German didn't possess the sight.
It's true, you
Right?
don't necessarily know that.
Probably true, I would think, with Cliff's understanding of the necklace. I think it can at least confirm through that they didn't have the sight to have to need this to do what they were doing. Is that a correct statement?
You don't know if the officer has the sight.
Okay.
You only know what the necklace does for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone who does possess the sight.
Understood. That is fair. Okay.
I want to bring Finn in on this because I don't know if what he found relates at all. Dove turns to him and
You see a 15-year-old boy, one-armed, standing very quietly, waiting for the adults to finish talking.
Hi, Finn.
come in here. Come, darling.
Yes.
You said
I'm
you
sorry,
found something.
Oh, yeah, he reaches into his little jacket and he pulls out a dossier.
Huh?
It has a lot of German writing on it, but on this dossier, which is very crumpled, looks like he's had it with him like the better part of the day, kind of has a little bit of a sweat stain on it because it's been inside of his jacket, but it seems to be on the top, it seems to in German. I'm not going to figure this. Hold on, while I want to be as authentic as possible.
While our GM is looking up something, you will see Cliff at the very least as they're talking about it and bringing Finn over. No longer playing, even though he wants to. Part of his body really wants to continue. He will probably, like a coin, flip the necklace over to maybe Aoife. Just because while Dove is talking to Finn, maybe someone else can get another understanding of it. He doesn't necessarily need it, but he will just say, "You'll see what I'm."
Oh.
I have to message you, Andy. I'm going to flip it, but I'm going to give it to Aoife.
Okay. Going back to the dossier, no.
Okay.
No.
Never mind. Thank you.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I was like, ugh!
No.
Yeah.
Yay!
Don't worry about
She
it.
said excitedly. That's great for me, I think.
It's okay. On the dossier, it says in very big, bold, alarming letters, Klassifiziert Project Gat, which literally means classified Project Gate.
Well, I know nothing about that.
He opens the dossier. It contains a list of names of people that you know. They are locals of Belfast, and you know that they also possess the site.
Oh, no.
There is some coded notes in there. Some of the words that you're able to sort of determine in the specimens. You do see a name that you think, when you're sort of looking at it, it looks like it could be Vaesen. There is Banshee, Selkie, Revenant, and Woodwife. As you begin to flip through past these no, they're unclassified now. As you flip through these pages, I'll say the only two people that have even the faintest inkling of what is being said are probably Dove and Aoife. You guys maybe don't know German, like you're not fluent necessarily, but you're a quick study and you've been able to sort of like put together, you might be able to read bits and pieces of the document.
Mm-hmm.
And of the things that you're saying, you see mention of a Scharführer Keller, an SS colonel, who appears to be attempting to open a gate using the woods outside of Belfast and the creatures that occupy.
Do our names happen to be on this dossier?
They do not appear to be on the dossier.
I think Dove would say some of this out loud, especially the bit about the gate, as like kind of working through this stuff out loud, word by word, building off of what Aoife's able to figure out versus what I'm able to figure out, and like stringing these sentences together, and then kind of to the room. So, someone named Keller seems to be attempting to open a gate, which may be a bad idea for us.
I would assume that anything in this dossier is a bad idea for us.
Yes.
What does it say? Drew asks Aoife, just because like a lot of the explanation from Dove and everything, it's like there's a lot of information and technicality that like Drew understands the language, but there are certain things that like he just misses. He feels like this is something that he doesn't want to like have a misunderstanding or misheard something.
Yes. Is there like a desk or something that perhaps we are huddled around as we observe this document?
There is a table and 4 chairs and some candles that are sort of arranged on it.
Wonderful. So I imagine that this dossier sits center of the table, and Aoife's journal is off to the right as her hand scribbles as Dove speaks, just mindlessly translating the proceedings into Spanish for Drew.
Got it. As you are also flipping through the pages, there is the Project Gate. And then there, which appears to be a activation of sorts of 4 different forest sites outside of Belfast. And on these diagrams, there's a map of Belfast. And you see of these 4, like X marks the spot, red in ink, of these 4 forests, 3 of them have a check. And in the center are the Thompson Docks. As you flip through the pages, there is also some more information that is brought to light. I'll say, Aoife, you recognize these pictures almost immediately. Pause for dramatic effect. 3 ships. The Olympic, the Britannic, and the Titanic. And as you flip through, there's black and white. And on the back of them there are blueprints and schematics of the different levels in each of these ships. And as you flip through those, there is a singular photo. And the photo is of a woman. Black and white photo, she's dressed in white, dark black hair. Underneath it, so as the photo is taped to the back of the dossier, or to the back cover, inside cover of the dossier. Beneath that, you see one word, Jessup.
Being that I recognize this, is there any information that I inherently know that might connect all of this together?
Given that you are a native Irish lass of Belfast, and you know the history of this place, you know that Belfast is the place where the Titanic, the Britannic, and the Olympic were built. Right here on these docks. You also know, based off of the history, that there are a lot of really incredible stories that came out of these ships. Not the least of which is the one person who survived an unfortunate accident and 2 tragedies of these boats sinking. And her name, everyone in Belfast calls her the Unsinkable, but her name is Violet Jessup.
Aoife raises a brow at all of this information. Father, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a picture of Violet, isn't it?
Father Patrick looks over your shoulder. Aye.
Why?
Michael, yes, it is.
Why is she involved in this?
I haven't the faintest.
She, and Aoife looks up to everyone, she is dubbed the Unsinkable. She survived 3 ships, terrible tragedies upon all of them. 3 ships that were created here. And would convey whatever additional information.
That poor woman.
Poor. Incredibly lucky.
Still, to survive that and have to watch everyone else not survive that over and over. That sounds, I don't know, poor woman is all.
Was it survival? Was it actually shifted
she do it?
fate? Just asking questions.
You asked if she did it?
I don't know if she did it or not, but
No.
from my understanding, you don't. You, never mind, Al.
Could I, Father, trouble you to use the non-cellar area of the church for just a few moments?
By all means.
I shoot a glance to Nehemiah, and once I catch your eye, I'll go, could you accompany me, please?
Absolutely.
Do we know to come with you or to stay behind?
I asked Nehemiah specifically, when I usually do this, it gets weird, so that'd be up to you.
I definitely follow.
I feel like Drew, depending on whether or not you would have allowed Drew to be a part of it, he would respect either way.
She's not going to tell anybody not to come, but she specifically calls upon Nehemiah. So it's not like a super private secret. It's just she knows Nehemiah's energy the best and would rely on him most closely. So she's asking him to come.
I'm wherever Aoife is.
You would feel this moment exist as Drew asked this question of if Violet did it, And then Dove asks Nehemiah to go upstairs, and her eyes lighten and lock with Drew's, like, you're coming with me. She wants to pull him up.
You just have Drew's eyes of like, you shouldn't, like...
She just nods.
Gonna let the four wander up. The cliff is comfortable. Laying against the wall, got communion wine, probably snacking on some of the nasty, unflavored crackers things that they have, wafers.
Some flat Welches.
Yeah. Just looks back to the father. Guess it's just us and them.
The father pulls out a deck of playing cards and he says, "You fancy?"
I was probably there when that game was born. And he walks over to the chair or wherever they go, table area to start setting up. But his ear always twitches. Not always, but like it seems to twitch. As you can tell that while he's focused, he's clearly listening. Just to make sure if anything goes wrong, game be damned.
Just for the sake, give me a vigilance
Oh, no.
check.
Okay.
How could you? We trusted you, Andy.
We trusted you. I'm just over here.
Keep rolling, Cliff. Don't roll for me, though.
Question. By this point, probably not necessarily not. It's fine. Am I still exhausted?
Oh yeah, you still have the conditions.
Okay, great. I did get one success.
Okay. As you are, the cards are being dealt out, you are still just trying to do your best to make sure that your friends are okay. Especially Nehemiah.
That's where the focus is, no matter what. And this group at this moment is always, where's he at?
Yep. Okay. Dove.
I think I'm the first one up out of the cellar. So by the time everyone else who is joining has joined, you see like some candles have been pulled out of the different like altar places that they've been around, and I'm setting them on the ground and steadying them with like books and stuff to keep them upright. I'm setting up a ritual. I'm taking out some of that paint that I painted on my hand with, and I'm painting a couple of circles in the center area. I would do this
Just to be clear,
Yeah,
you're putting together a ritual on the floor of a church.
it kind of has to be done. I
Of course,
would do
of course.
this elsewhere,
Necessity.
but there are people outside who will hurt us if I do. And I promise I'll clean it all up after. It's gonna be fun.
Go off.
I asked permission from the father first. So
Yeah, he knows what you're about, but also he knows all of you. So
Correct.
he's comfortable.
correct. He's a good uncle father. So I'm going to place a few things down. I'm taking things out of my very deep coat pockets. Things that I guess are questionable, but not weird enough to be like, whoa, what's happening? Something like an empty turtle shell that I found out by the water sometime, or like pickled vegetables that have been in there for a specific amount of time, jarred under a full moon. Things that are very folksy are starting to get put around in this circle. When it's finished, I take out a crystal ball and I set it in the center. And then I'm going to hold my hands out for Nehemiah to come join me. Which you have probably only done this with me one other time, or I've only asked you one other time. It's up to you, Nehemiah, if you've actually done it. But you've seen me set up for this before, at the very least.
He says nothing, but kind of he does one of those inhales that just like apexes, but you don't see the exhale unless you're looking directly at his chest. It's like the inhale is obvious, the exhale is subtle. And he walks over and he goes, "Well, it's been a bit. Remind me of my role."
Sure. And before I do, I saw Rachel's hand was up, so I just want to give her the chance, just in case.
I was wondering if we could cross-narrate as Dove is setting up this ritual circle. Aoife and Drew sit in a pew nearby, I imagine, observing, and Aoife would lean over and say, "What do you mean you think she did it?"
He has a moment, thinks about it, gestures to the book, and he just kind of whispers quietly but very rapidly in Spanish, and he just sort of goes, Estaban hablando de ella como si fuese la persona que sufrió o tuvo la suerte de que no pasó nada, pero al mismo tiempo nunca decidieron pensar ¿y qué pasó si fue ella la que causó todo eso y está conectado con todo lo que está pasando ahorita? I'm just saying that is also a possibility. And then he has a moment where he seems to be done, and then he just adds personas que tienen the site, pero no nosotros, pero nos estaban siguiendo, which is, that's another thing that I found strange. There's names of people that we know have the site on the book, but not our names, but they were chasing us. Does that mean that the people in the book are people they have? And if they would have caught us, our names would have been added?
Aoife reads this silently, and I don't even think... I think there's something special about this communication where she could speak out loud, but as the channel, she can also just kind of think, and the automatic writing will persist. So I think silently she writes back in this book to him, I believe that is a danger, and it does make sense that we could have been added to the list. I think it maybe makes sense that we weren't on it yet. But it is intriguing, and I agree that it is odd that Violet is mentioned here in this profile. I think it is something that we should definitely look into further.
The people on the dossier, those with sight, we should check with them. And a separate thing, and this is only if this could have come up at any point, one of the things that Drew sometimes does is that he happens to be very good at having rhythm. And one of the ways that when he's calming down or thinking about his past or using his bracelet is that he will do beats. He will do like patterns that sound like playing a drum. And so if this is something that you would want to have established as something to help Dove with their time,
Yes.
Drew as
I
his...
will allow you to add 1 dice.
Awesome.
So there's this, so as he answers to Aoife and then looks at Dove, calling Nehemiah, they're in the pew, and so you just see him using his knuckles on the wood between, like, right on where he's sitting. He just starts doing I don't know what is happening with my screen, but I guess the magic...
Not you doing the magic in real time.
Did everyone just see that?
I didn't even notice.
That was terrifying.
That's
It was
5
do it again.
more D6.
What was that?
I don't know. I don't know.
It was real
Oh,
magic.
you seriously? I thought you did that on purpose.
No. This is something that
I was
probably
like, the
Rivers
spirits are being
Audience
summoned.
Victor
right
is magic.
and D6 now. Go ahead.
Then to pull that in as you're doing that beat that is magical canon, I want the candle flames to start sputtering at that rhythm that you are conjuring.
Yes, absolutely.
And Nehemiah, as you step into the circle with me, you see that Dove is taking off a lot of the layers. She's already sweating as she's like concentrating and getting into a very specific zone, except for her hands, you see, are very, very dry. They almost look like cracked. And she looks at you and says, all right, so if we're to believe Finn, partially believe Finn, and he did at least hear something, I'm going to try and see who the Banshee is coming for. I think it would be helpful in our coming days, provided we survive them. So, I'm going to need a bit of your energy, if you're willing to lend it. Are you?
Let me just make sure that everything's clear. And he kind of just undoes the snap that holsters his gun and sets it outside of the circle, and then kind of just very deftly with his other hand, it's almost like a magic trick where it's like you see his hand go down, but you don't see anything in his hand until he pulls it back up, and there is an apple-sized grenade that he just very casually sets next to his gun, and then he kind of just like uses his foot to just slide them close to the wall, and then he steps back into the circle and gives you a very playing along look as he puts his hands forward.
half the battle. So all we need to do is tell each other something that is true about the other, that we haven't told each other yet, and then it should be fine. All right? I'll start. And she's going to take one of her hands back and lick down the banshee side, because that's what she's trying to get insight onto, and she's going to hold her hand back out for yours so that you can clasp hands again.
I fucking love this.
And she's going to wait until you put your hands in hers for her to say, she's going to start. She'll say the first true thing to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, he looks like he's not confused, but it does feel foreign. He hasn't done it in a while, and he repeats the motion. And
the bond is connected. So, I know you think I talk a lot, or too loudly. You've never specified, but my talking is a subject. I thought you should know that I like talking to you because you sound like home. When I was little, I sounded just like you. And then I went to boarding school in America, and they taught me to sound like this. And when I came here, I didn't have anyone else who sounded like me. In fact, people don't really like that I sound this way, but talking to you, well, let's be honest here, making you talk to me, you're a man of few words, it feels warm. And I feel like more people should look at you warmly. Okay, now you.
You can tell that he's genuinely taken aback by that. He again knows a little bit about how this ritual goes, but he did not expect you to just aim for the heart so quickly. So he gives a little bit of a nervous chuckle, and for a second,
Sorry. I just want to specify. Are you guys talking to each other?
Yes.
And by that I mean, are you talking quietly to each other, or do Drew and Aoife hear?
If you're in a pew in the same room, you probably hear Dove. Again, Dove's not great with volume control, so you may hear Dove for sure, but it would be up to Nehemiah if he's whispering.
Nehemiah is loud enough for Dove to hear, and if someone else catches that, they probably would have to be close.
Drew also is drumming, so there's
that's true too.
There's some.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he takes a second to kind of meet your eyes again, and he says, I wasn't quite sure what I would run into coming over to Ireland. Spent a lot of time in my life either crawling, walking, or running, and I am far more glad than most people know that I walked in to your company. And I appreciate daily your insight and, how do I put this, what some would call your eccentricities.
I think while you're talking, instead of truly processing what you're saying, she's looking around at the candles to making sure that they're glowing at the right spot. And as they're still keeping in time with the rhythm, she nods as you finish and go, "True enough," and is going to begin to sing in a Celtic lilting that kind of goes in time with Drew's drumming, and that should begin the process of showing what's going on, who the next victim of the banshee is what she's specifically concentrating on. It's supposed to be an observation roll when I'm using my crystal ball.
Okay.
Okay, and I get to add one to this, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. So you're using your crystal ball and you're doing the ritual, and then you also have the one dice added to from
which makes it totally flat because I am still exhausted, but that does give me 2 successes, so that's 2 6s.
Nice. As this ritual takes hold in the space, there is, along with the sound of Dove's lilting Gaelic song, there is a rush of air that sort of suddenly is generated around the rim of this circle, this ritual that she has constructed. And there's a rush of air, and suddenly the hymnals and Bibles are, shaken from their pews and fall to the ground. And the candles in the altar suddenly go out. And all of the lights actually in this room flicker and then go out, almost as if they are responding to this ritual. The lilting continues. The air increases in volume and range. And Aoife and Drew, you're still like, the staccato of your beat only is heightened by this increase in this ritual. And Aoife, you're just looking on and you see Dove suddenly enter her element. And she looks into her crystal ball. I need to know exactly, Dove, the question that you are asking.
Okay, the exact question is, who is the Banshee next targeting?
Who is the Banshee's next target?
You looking through a long list of victims, Auntie?
There is a list.
No, not the eyebrows of doom.
Okay. The air and the sound of your song grows to a crescendo. Still contained within the four walls of the church. It's not suddenly going out into all of Belfast, though you might like it to. It is contained within the church. It reaches a crescendo, and then the lights go back on. The candles relight. The hymnals and Bibles stay on the floor. They don't go back to the place where they were. But the ritual has finished. You look into the ball of crystal, and it is a picture of a face. And it is the face of Finn O'Donnell. And that is where we will leave it for tonight.
For the sake of the mics, Andy, for the sake of the mics and the mics alone, you live by the grace of God in this house tonight. Do you hear me?